Hi. Why don't we start with your name? You can tell us where you're from and who you are.
My name is Melissa. I'm originally from New York City. I moved to LA about 8 years ago. I play in a couple of bands and I do this.
What brought you to Los Angeles?
I just wanted something different. I wanted to live in the sun. I could no longer do the winter thing. Kind of typical New York story of just like I roughed it out really for a while. And yeah, I wanted to start over here. And I grew up with my mom actually doing this, but when I found out that, you know, in LA it was a lot easier to do because of weather, yeah, it was just easier to execute and make it happen here.
So what is this? What's the name of your business? What do you do?
Well, since I started here about like 6-7 years ago, it first started, I had the name Fashion Rot, which was just like a tag on a piece of like 80s clothing that I found. Then I changed that to a David Bowie song, Teenage Wildlife, and now I'm transitioning it to something else called Melissa Material. It will coincide with a music release and like a whole like clothing line of my own designs as well. In here, it's like things that I find at thrift stores, well, things that I make, things that I rework. So like there's different stuff that's like screen printed, things that also are associated with my band, hand painted pieces as well. So yeah, it's a combination of like true vintage and well as like modern designers and stuff like that too. So this is like Ekal Slada, it's a modern designer. And then there's like vintage Burberry, you know, so kind of goes all over the spectrum. This is like a piece I made.
Oh, wow.
As well as this one too.
What makes your business stand out?
I think I'm particularly like really into color and flamboyancy. When I walk around the market, this place in particular has a really different range of styles that you could go with. So I kind of attract the more flamboyant types and the queens, which I prefer. So yeah.
When did you decide to bring your business to the Trading Post?
I actually I noticed it when I first moved here from being across the street, like getting breakfast with somebody. And I just noticed like along the fence that somebody had a bunch of like really cool vintage shirts. And so I just got curious, went over. And then at the time I was working at Amoeba, but I was like making minimum wage there. And so it was not really like doing me any favors. And then I worked one day here just based on stuff that I had already like in an Etsy shop. So I've been doing vintage actually for years, but never just trying to do it in like a flea market sense. And anyway, for my first time doing it, it was really successful, so I just pursued it from then on.
Do you have any favorite memories from selling here?
Yeah, I met like one of my heroes here, which I've met many different, you know, famous or celebrities through the different times of my life. But this was Betsy Johnson, like walking in here, and I didn't realize how starstruck I actually would be, but I like got emotional after she left. But we took a picture together. It was very cool. I've never asked somebody for their photo before, but I just couldn't help myself. I mean, she's a true icon, like an actual legend. If it was really, yeah, it was something else.
Special.
Yeah, that was definitely the most special experience here. That, and then there's that guy that always comes with the pig. I haven't seen him in a while, but I love pigs. I'm obsessed with Miss Piggy. So to meet an actual pig,
yeah,
because I always grew up in like urban places, there was not like people with pigs, so that was pretty incredible to see this guy wheeling a pig around.
So, do you have any places that you love to shop here?
Yeah, I love I Am Muse Grace. Yeah, her stuff is awesome. Sabrina's, who just right around the corner, her stuff's awesome. Dan's always has Possession Vintage. She's always had great stuff.
Do you have like favorite pieces that you have right now?
Well, I definitely love Betsy Johnson, so I love like anything of hers that I have. So I have this piece of hers right now. This is a piece of 90s Betsy, which you can always tell from the tag difference. Let's see. Oh, this dress right here is super special. It's 100 years old, as you can kind of tell from its condition, but the fact that it's like still existing in this world after this amount of time, somebody probably handmade this and put a ton of time into it.
Yeah.
Somebody very small will fit into it. This is an old like 90s comme des garçons for men, which I think is particularly really neat. Super underrated. This designer from the 90s, Mariah Neck. I absolutely love her. This is like basically 1920s, but done in the 90s, you know? Yeah. The favorite everybody loves now, Goonie Sacks has finally made a comeback. But the 80s dresses, I feel like, were ignored for a while. But this I love because it reminds me of Betsy Johnson, actually. To me, I think it's really fun if you go to a party and you look like a cupcake.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect. This dress is from the 30s, really particularly special. When I found it, it was really shredded up. So we cut the bottom and re-sewed it here. Well, not, when I say we, me, my tailor figured out how to get it fixed.
Yeah.
The Balenciaga to me is kind of special because my band played like their fashion show in New York, which was kind of a big deal. We never had like a brand be interested in us before, so that was really cool. Yeah. And the designer came up to me, Brady, just to meet us and tell us how much he loved the brand. And I'd never been dressed head to toe in something so fancy. I was, yeah.
Wow.
So it's special because of that. But yeah.
This was incredible. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for like being interested to come here.
Thanks for giving us a tour.
Yeah, totally.